Attempt 3. It's always when Dunk's away this happens. I don't know why. Okay, right, let's try and get this rolling. Sorry, Ian, mate. Sometimes as a pig, and without fail, it would be the week Dunk's not here, so he can rub it in my face. And I know he will. I know he will. He's probably sitting there in some bar looking at his alerts like, Casey's fucked it up. Absolute twat. Well, let's see if it works this time around. Hopefully it does. I've sent you an invite to check your end, mate. It should be, it's showing that an invite's been sent. So I'm not too sure what's going on there. Sometimes it just takes a couple of goes as well. Like, it's just a pig. But if it doesn't work on this one, I might try it on my personal account. Or I might just quickly turn my phone on and off again. We'll see what that does. But I have sent something out, so let me know if it's come through. And life gives you lemons. Come on, the Inquisition. Where we're sponsored by oranges. Right. Let me accept you. See if that works. Cancel. That. Isn't able to join. Accept that. Go live. Go live, would you? Stupid thing. Hello, everyone. Right. I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you. But never fear, because when that happens, anyone that joins the chat will be able to hear both of us and see both of us. So you will forgive me if I'm asking you questions and I've got no frame of reference whatsoever, but this sometimes happens. Right. As I was mumbling away to myself there, Ian, thank you very much for coming on to the Inquisition tonight, mate. It's
Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure to have you on. So first of all, what we like to do for anyone that doesn't follow you or isn't aware of your account, if you'd just like to give yourself a little introduction, who you are and what you do.
I am Ian Gonzalez, otherwise known as White Shark Gaming Studios. I've been around for a few years. I now primarily make fantasy style terrain for D&D and stuff like that. I make it all out of tiny little foam blocks and tiny pieces that would drive most people insane. I've been around in the hobby since I was 24. I started 40k. I didn't have a childhood with miniatures or anything like that. I started when my brother had appendicitis and he bought some miniatures, decided he couldn't do it, gave them to me, and I did it. So next year will be my 20th year in the hobby. Yeah. So, yeah, that's me. I've built silly little crazy things like this.
Again, you'll have to forgive me because I can't see it, but
fine, I'm showing everyone else, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to be sitting here looking vacant when everyone else is like, what's wrong with Casey? Is he having some sort of stroke or something? but yeah. So it was those early steps that you said. What sort of edition 40k are we talking about?
Fifth. I started 5th edition.
Okay.
So I started really early. My first army was Space Marines, obviously. And Ultramarines, obviously. Because I knew no better. But that was the times when I could have 5 assault cannons and 3 heavy bolters and rip through people's armies. It was awesome fun.
The good old days, rolling 30 dice from one dreadnought and stuff like that.
Great fun. Typhoon and stuff like that. Yeah, Tempest Typhoon, loved it. Absolutely fantastic times. I loved them. I mean, weirdly, it's the only army I ever regret selling was my first edition of Ultramarines.
You know what? That's quite a common thing that a lot of people that we've had on have said, that they regret getting rid of their very first stuff, and I do as well. I've got drips and drabs of it. But
it's not because it was painted very well, because it was garbage, but because it was my first army, you know?
Yeah, so. It's that. I mean, let's face it, our first steps into this stuff's always absolute trash, and it's just what you treasure rather than what it actually looks
Yeah,
like. It could
exactly.
be the worst painted thing, but when at that age, when you're first making your baby steps into it, you're proud of it anyway, aren't you?
Well,
So,
I mean, I was 24, so yeah.
well, I would have been proud of it. So there you go. Don't worry about that. So, well, how did you get from doing all your 40K stuff to then getting into the scratch building of terrain and messing around with foam? Because that's
I
what's
would.
intrigued me the most.
I started messing around with foam probably about 4 to 5 years ago. I think it was. I'm not sure if it was before or after COVID. I can't. I'd have to scroll back on my posts really. I got really disenfranchised with the gaming side of Games Workshop, because it was Games Workshop I was predominantly in. I got really disenfranchised with the gaming side of things when me and a load of friends. I live in Staines, and we had a gaming group called the Staines Invaders
Hmm.
instead of Space Invaders, for a nice play on words. And we had a huge group of people that would take part, and we go to Warhammer World for their campaign weekends.
Yep.
We'd have a huge show, and we're all pretty decent painters back then. I mean, some of us still are now. But Rich Rock Minis you had on the other week,
Yep.
he was also one of the guys there, and he's one of my real life mates. So just a massive amount of us. We go out there. We take 20 to 30 lads, all dressed in the same shirts for just for a campaign weekend,
Yeah.
mainly for a laugh and a beer, but a game as well, so we could play with our painted
Yeah.
armies. There many a painting certificate was won, many a best army, and that it was really good fun, really really cool. Casey was It was so
Don't
late,
stop.
Dunk, so late.
Don't start with teething issues as usual, Dunk, because you weren't here to steer the ship. But we got there. We got there.
So yeah, we did. It was mainly the campaign weekends that we do,
Hmm.
and then when they stopped the campaign weekends and they brought them back, in a competitive way.
Yeah.
And I was playing an orc army at the time, and it was, don't get me wrong, I loved playing with the orcs. It was really good fun. Having 3 units of 30 orcs stomping across the battlefield with super formations was great. But not when your whole army got obliterated in one turn by somebody who was min-maxing stuff. And I'm like, that's not for me. I'm not down with that anymore. And then after that, my orc army sat in the cabinet for a long, long time. I played a few games on tabletop tactics, dropping some big names.
All right.
um, real life friends with Chef Mike on tabletop tactics as well. He was part of the Staines Invaders as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I went on there and played a few times, and those are the orcs I played with. And yeah, I just got really disenfranchised with the fact that you couldn't go up there and have a fun game.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just bugged me. So I stopped playing for a while and just started just painting individual figures. And then we started playing D&D. Just it was before COVID. I started playing just before COVID, and then COVID hit, so we had to do it via video link.
Yep.
But I was like, well, why don't we have some houses and stuff? Let me try my hand at houses.
Mhm.
So I got some pink foam, made some bricks and stuff, made a few bits of wall, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm fairly decent at this. Let's give it a go. And that's led to where I am now with doing some laser cut kits for some companies and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, that's how I started a long, long time ago, 20 years ago.
By any chance, this is something that sort of struck me when I was scrolling through your account, was the quality of stuff you put out is great. I love the tower that you did, where you had that sort of John Blanche bit of art and with just
You
like
still can't see
bang.
me, can you?
Nope.
Well, hang on, let me get the towel for everyone else that can see.
Good shout.
This is where I drop it.
Don't do that. It's beautiful. Don't drop it. Don't drop it.
Turn that. There you go.
Yeah, that. I mean, I can hear you showing it. So that really struck me because it's just one of those sort of classic bits of art, and you've made it a 3D reality.
It's the best piece I've done yet, and that's yeah, by leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
It took a long time to do. I still haven't finished it. I haven't painted the pennant on top, because I'm terrified of it. You get those things when you're going to go and paint something,
Yeah.
like, nah, I can't
Yeah.
do that.
It's always a
So
flag or it's a face. It's always one of those two
yeah,
things. But
so I think what I'm going to do with this, I'm probably going to quarter it and then put some decals on it and then just paint over them slightly so it looks
yeah,
like it's faded in. But
So,
yeah, it was based off a sketch by Tommy Soul, the miniature painting tutor, who's a legend. I'll share. This is the sketch for those of you that can see the video. I've made the tree and the wooden bit as well. I've not painted those two bits either. But yeah,
yeah.
based on a sketch from him, he drew a sketch of my cottage that I painted before this.
Hmm.
And he messaged me because, oh, look, I drew this. I took some inspiration from your post and I drew a cottage. I went, oh my God, that's really cool. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to have to build one of yours. So he sent me some pictures and I was like, I've got to build a tower.
It's
So
it, it's just like an iconic looking sort of almost John Blanche-esque thing. Like I say, it's just absolutely
it's your
spot on. It's
typical
beautiful as
high
well. Yeah,
fantasy wizard tower, isn't it? Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
And you've smashed it out of the park on that.
Oh, thank you.
So from drawing to physical manifestation, how do you go through the process of
I, I,
planning?
I don't draw.
Well, obviously, when Tommy's drawing it for you in
Oh,
this instance, but
From Tommy's
yeah,
drawing, I just take a look at the shapes. Tommy's phenomenal artist, so looking at the shapes, I can tell that this is a conical and cylindrical tower. There's nothing square about it, apart from
mm,
the entryway. And so I knew that I had to do some slopes and stuff. The bottom of my tower slopes very, very gradually.
yeah,
His slopes quite a lot. So I mean, it's not exact. It's very similar.
mhm,
But I knew it had to be round. So there's a Pringles tube, there's a
yep,
porridge pot, and there's a giant olive pot on the top. And my daughter had fun eating all the olives for me. So yeah, so I knew I had to do that. And the hardest part about the tower was definitely the shingled roof.
yeah,
So I don't know if any of you out there have ever tried shingles. Cutting shingles to be on a conical tower is incredibly difficult. You can get most of them on, but then you have to cut one at a pyramid and
yeah.
it's slotted in. So I mean, it's okay. It works quite well. So I've just realised I'm not sharing this with my viewers. Let me share this.
I think Warhammer Pod in the chat there just hit the nail on the head that using stuff like that to hand is such just like a classic throwback world before plastic kits, 3D printers, MDF stuff. Um, I love that stuff exists, but did you feel that in doing it, it felt a bit throwbacky? It felt a bit like, you were sort of stepping back to like
To the
late
Pringles
90s,
tube, yeah,
2000. Yeah.
yeah. My first builds came from cereal boxes and Pringles tubes and plastic pasta cartons and stuff like that. So I've always tried to recycle where I can,
Yep.
but there's only so much you can recycle. I mean, environmentally friendly, this pink foam is not. Let's be honest with you.
No.
Um, and I make thousands and thousands of tiny little bricks, but they all go on my models. Nothing goes back into the ground
Yep.
yet, anyway. And I use a lot of balsa wood, so I I don't think it's environmentally. I don't think it's not as environmentally as friendly as the worst contributor to plastics.
Yep.
So I'm not doing anything that's bad. I don't think, anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong, people. Chemicals,
Don't
I'm not a chemical
breathe them
engineer,
in. Don't
but
breathe them in.
it's
I think it'll be fine.
yeah, it's a way of creating that I find therapeutic. So
Yeah. I think that's the nail on the head. It is like I've dabbled with making some bits out of cardboard recently, and it is that little bit of it's a different style completely of hobbying,
yeah,
isn't it? When you've got like a little Space Marine kit, for example, and you can sit there and you're like A, B, C, D, print it, done it, done. And then you can actually go through this instead, and it gets your brain thinking in a different way.
that bring back the camera for you there by any chance? No.
No, I'm still no camera,
Okay.
but
Okay.
like I said, don't worry about that.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Like,
it does. Yeah, so I can put together an orc kit or a space marine kit in seconds. No problem at all. I've done hundreds of them. My orc army was 28,000 points, for instance. It was massive.
yeah,
There's a picture of it on my feed somewhere. You have to scroll a lot though.
like that.
So yeah, I can do that. But putting one of these together, it takes me weeks. This
Yeah,
house has taken me 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, I've been doing jury service in that time as well. So sometimes when you come over, you're like, nah, I can't be asked for that.
yeah,
I need to just chill out now and have a beer. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, so yeah, I put the big stuff, like the giant house, which is just behind me. I can't get it down. It's massive. That's taken me nearly a year and a half so far. But that is 4 levels, The roof splits into 2 more levels. It's fully playable interior. There's a stable section outside, and it's all individual bricks again, and all the individual beams and stuff. There are 5,000 cobbles in it, all individually laid by my tweezers.
Yeah.
These are my old faithful tweezers. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, and a lot of time, and a lot of people are like, oh, you must be mad. I'm like, yeah, but it helps. I have such a busy mind. It
Yeah.
helps calm me down and chill me out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was going to say there's a couple of obviously other accounts on there at the moment that I see online. I can't remember the dude's name, but he's the huge muscular bloke that's always ripping bits of stuff up. And then
yeah.
another guy that I really like is Working Counter Terrain Joe. You know, he's always
Oh,
some of the
Joe's
stuff he comes.
fantastic. He's a really
Yeah,
good laugh as well.
some
Yeah,
of the stuff he throws out is quality. But you know, just it is
vertical
that
D&D.
sense of yeah. You know, when I first, I actually went to the kids museum that's in and actually
That's
looked at
superb.
the board. It looked absolutely stunning.
Yeah,
But it is just that sense of it's a different mindset, and I think it's something that personally, like when I started off hobbying, like I say, that late 90s to 2000s period, there wasn't any plastic kits for terrain, there wasn't any MDF, and it was
yeah.
just if you wanted stuff on a battlefield, you'd have to cut up your cardboard boxes, you'd have to get your Pringles tubes out, you know. There was none of this walk into a shop, buy a maybe railway kits at most is what you get, but then the scale of them was always
Yeah,
ridiculously off.
it was completely off, wasn't it?
Yeah,
But you
you know,
did you
it's
ever see the Citadel Introduction to Terrain Making book?
I was going to bring that up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've actually got copies of both the first and second one, so the red cut label cover and the blue one.
Oh, you've got the Rocking
Um,
Horse blue one.
I think
Yeah,
so.
and the red one's really rare.
Yeah, I mean, I say I've got copies, but
I've got you. Yeah, I see.
yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, I saw Darren Latham recently put out making some terrain from polystyrene balls,
mm,
like the old alien terrain. He
yeah.
was making that on his Instagram the other week, which is really cool.
Just but again, iconic, silly little things that we all remember as being kids, and I love. I've said it to some guests that we've had on in the past. I love the fact that they're releasing all this plastic stuff, and
Yeah,
it takes some of the stress out of thinking, how do I make this look? But it's all the same. It's all just buildings. It's all just the occasional bit of here's maybe a tree, and it's really ruining what specifically for Games Workshop is ruining all of their back lore and all of their history that you could have any planet any way you want it. And it would be its own thing. Like you could have a planet that was castles if you wanted, and they were just like, "Yep,
I
cool,
think
run with it." And now,
I agree with you to a certain extent on that one, but I do believe they're doing the cathedral kits and the plastic kits because that's their bread and butter. That is their Space Marine stuff, a gothic world, go
yeah,
fight on it. And everyone loves that. And I think it leaves that open for people like myself and other people that bring out terrain.
yeah,
Like, is it Urban Warfare? They do some really cool buildings and stuff. Those guys are ridiculous. Their new roads are superb. Um, I was going to do a commission from somebody on some roads, and I saw those and went, no, 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 they're way better. Go buy those instead. Yes, I think it just leaves a massive scope for other people to try their hand at doing what
yeah,
they want. And there's lots of people out there that'll do your commission for like the Utah style blown rocks and stuff like that.
hmm
So it's not something I've actually tried to do myself at the moment, and my mind blows at how people get it to cut really well because I
yeah,
can't get my phone to do that without a hot wire cutter. So yeah, I agree. They are just cookie cuttering what they want,
hmm
but then they'd have to produce sets for everyone, wouldn't they? They'd have to produce
yeah,
sets for everything. They've tried in the past, and they haven't always been popular sellers. And
mm,
let's be honest, the Games Workshop are first and foremost a profit-making business.
yep,
So there's nothing we can do about that. It'd be great if they just made here's all your toys you want. We don't care how much money we make. But unfortunately, not everyone works there as a billionaire.
no, and we're not in a
So
perfect world of that I can
no,
go away and
exactly.
build my little farm that I want when everyone else wants, like you say, competitive terrain and all of
Yeah,
that sort of stuff. I think that's kind of killed the terrain market a bit. Personally, I would say
yeah,
in that push for competitive gaming has reduced a lot of world building. And that does sort of suck a little bit. But like you've sort of put a positive spin on it, which I've never considered, that it does allow people like yourself, other companies, to sort of step into that gap and be like, okay, they're doing their thing. Have you had a look at our stuff?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So all the castles and the towers and the trains that I make may not be for 40k,
Yeah,
but the Space Marines could land on an agri world
hmm,
and then just put a plasma
exactly.
round through a whole castle and it blows the crap up. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So
Yes.
what's
The
intrigued?
muscly guy with the glasses, Artifex Maho.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
he makes some amazing looking stuff. But
And
again,
he's
well,
quick as well.
yeah,
He's super quick. Yeah, he
he
makes some
is.
really good stuff.
Like the stuff he puts out is absolutely stunning. And at the moment, I know there's a lot of heat on him because he did an AI thing. But if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. I'm not
Yeah,
going
it's
to
up
edit
to
that.
him. Yeah.
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 So when you mentioned obviously that you're cutting up your little bricks,
Hmm.
how long would you say from your sheet of XPS being delivered to you to getting all the bricks in your hands that process takes?
It generally depends on how many bricks. I can tell you now, I timed it and I made 15,000 bricks, and they're all used, by the way. They were 10 mil by 5 mil by 5 mil, so they were like a 10 mil by 5 mil by 5. Yeah, very small bricks. I made 15,000 of them, and it took me an hour and 15 minutes.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
You see, that's like machine level stuff.
But once you get a rhythm and you know,
Yeah.
you think in your head, I've got this thick foam. If I cut it here, I've got two levels, and I cut it here, 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 and here, loads more. And then you slice it. It's like a cheese cutter. It's brilliant. This thing. It is literally a circular saw, but a hot wire for the foam. It's amazing. So I've got I designed some jigs as well,
Okay.
so I can if I cut a length of foam, I can slot it in and cut all my jigs and just slice bricks off as well. So I've got all my jigs and that. So I've got it down to a fine art. When I first started, it took me in hours. So
Can
yeah,
imagine. Because it's something that I've sort of had an eye on for a while. I do want to start getting more scratch buildy with my terrain. Again, for me, it's just that little bit of a throwback feel. It's making something that's personal to
yeah.
you. But that getting a sheet of XPS has sort of been it fills me with dread that I could nick it somewhere and just completely batter a sheet.
You're
But I
not. You
suppose that's
don't
also
forget
part
you're
of the
cutting
fun.
it into small bricks, aren't you? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. It's part of the fun, like I
you want
say.
to see in
Um,
my shed the way mine's stored. There's spiders all over it.
oh God. So, do you find, and this is something that I've always wanted to ask Joe Levin. I've tried to get him on in the past, and I had to cancel on him. I've never been able to get him back on yet, just because schedules, and
I'll chat.
I bottle asking him.
I'm
I
at
feel
Saloon
bad.
with him on Saturday. I'll chat with him.
Oh, I was going to bring Salute up in a bit,
Okay.
quality, because I'll be there as well. But don't worry about that. I was gonna. I've lost my train of thought now, but
You
it
wanted to
is
ask
just
Joe
that.
something?
Yeah, now I can't remember what. But I'll tell you what. Let's
Sorry.
move on to Salute, and then we'll come back. Don't ever apologise. It's fine. It's my shit memory. um, so Salute, you're there with Joe. You actually on Joe's
No,
stand helping him out,
I'm
or?
actually there with Rich from Rock Minis.
Oh, cool.
So
Okay.
as I said, I'm real life friends with Rich. I've been with him and helped him out since he started the company.
Mm.
I help him out with shows every now and again. I reinforce positive ideas, and I tell him, as a friend, I tell him when something's stupid and he shouldn't do it. And I think he'd tell you the same thing. So yeah, he's you on the show. He told you about his move. He moved away from
Yeah.
Staines for for very good reasons. So I don't see him as often as I used to, but
Mhm.
yeah, I get to go and visit him at the shows and help him out. So
Cool.
got another one of our friends coming along to help out with the gaming side of things, and I'm going to be on the stall with him selling stuff. So because I know his product most, because I do most of the shows with him. So yeah, I've also got to look after the stall on my own while he does his talk on the panel as well. I'm not looking forward to that,
Was that
I can tell you. No, you didn't make
going to
any
sit
money
you
in the
there?
last hour, Richard. I don't know what you're talking about.
But that's handy because I'm going to be there with Rob,
Oh, fantastic.
um, and me and him will be in the pub beforehand because you know what Rob's like.
Yeah, I know him.
Um, yeah,
Oh, I know
so
Rob. Yeah, I know Rob really well.
yeah, we
Yeah.
are going to be having a few, and then we'll come and we'll terrorize you boys. So, do you just with thinking about Salute? Is it something that you often do with Rich? Go help him out with these sorts of
Yeah,
things, or
yeah. So, I've done a lot of shows with Rich. God, I don't even know how many I've done. I've got my own monogrammed, no, not monogrammed. I've got my own polo shirt and my own T-shirt with Rock Minis on it. It's in my drawer upstairs. So, so yeah, no, I help him out a lot. I know a few of his customers. I know his products. Yeah, I like to help him. He used to help me out when I did shows. So I've run two terrain companies myself. I used to do a company called BNS Miniatures, and that was resin bases and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then I sold that and stopped doing that for ill health.
Yeah.
Got better, and then quite a few years later, I created White Shark Gaming Studios.
Mhm.
Did much better gaming bases, much better terrain and stuff, and stopped doing that at the start of COVID
Mhm.
because I was like, I work a full time job anyway. I've got a really good job, and
Yeah.
I work a full time job, and that was just for fun money. And
Mhm.
I put a release out on Instagram saying, "Don't buy stuff from me. I don't need your business at COVID. Buy from other people
Fair
who
enough.
actually need the money for a full
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. I'll be here when you get back. Don't worry about me. Support the people that need it." And then I realised I really didn't miss it.
Fair enough.
And there were
Yeah.
other companies that did it. So I still have all of my equipment, like my pressure vessel and my resin, and everything like that. And I do commissions every now and again. But the good thing
Yeah.
is, because I work a full time job, I can pick and choose the commissions I want, and I price accordingly for my skill level and my experience as well.
Yeah.
I'm not about to sell myself. It sounds really horrible, but I'm not about to sell myself short when I'm doing a
No.
commission. I'm going to charge what I know my time is worth, which is something I never used to do.
Mhm.
I never used to value my own time, but now I do, because obviously
I
I've got
think
my.
that's
Yeah, sorry, go on,
yeah.
carry
Yeah. No, that's important because I know it's something that I'm in different groups with hobby people since doing the Inquisition, and a lot of them are getting asked to do like little bits of commission painting here,
Yeah,
there, and everywhere, and they're all sitting down, they're all trying to scratch their brains like, well, how much is my time worth?
I
And for
would
somebody,
say a minimum of £15 an hour, an
yeah,
absolute bare minimum.
because for a lot of these guys, they're self-employed anyway, and they're
Yeah,
doing other things. So it's like I'd say to them, well, how much do you charge your clients when you're doing your day to day?
yeah,
And they come. Obviously, they all do different things, and they all come up with different prices. It's like, well, if that's what you charge an hour, charge that
yeah.
at
It's
the end
not
of the day.
unskilled. It's not. It's skilled labour. That's
Yeah,
exactly what it is. You know,
exactly.
even if you, I mean, it's what is it, £11.32 or something for minimum wage?
Something like
Yeah, I mean that's not skilled labour. That's minimum wage. So forgive me if anyone's on minimum wage. I apologise. I'm not saying you're not skilled,
that.
but yeah. So painting something like a miniature is incredibly skilled, and
Yeah.
if you can command a commission for it, then you
hmm
deserve to be paid for that. And your paints aren't cheap; they're £4 or £5 a pop. So, and then your brushes aren't cheap either. So,
Yep.
yeah, a base minimum £15 an hour without a shadow of a
Yeah.
doubt. So, and if
That seems
someone,
perfect. Yeah.
yeah, if someone's not prepared to pay that, then there's someone else they can go to. It's fine.
Mhm.
You haven't lost anything. So, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the way a lot of. I think there's this sort of thing that, and kudos to you for being completely unselfish during COVID and sort of saying this is a side hustle for me. If there's people out there that do this as a job, go to them. Because I think there a lot of people aren't too sure on being on how cutthroat they should be with these sorts of things, and sort of they do want to do people favors because they want to be. It's nice to be friendly in this sort of hobby and
yeah,
community and stuff, but at the same time, it's your time, it's your effort, it's energy and time that you're spending away from doing your thing, your family, whatever. And I
yeah,
don't think enough people
exactly.
think of
If
that.
you are a single person, you live on your own, you own your own place, you've got an incredibly well paid job, do as many favors as you want. If
Hmm.
you're doing it for a business, you shouldn't be doing favors. You should be doing it to make money, because that's what puts your food on the table and keeps your electricity in your house.
Exactly.
Um, it's different painting a miniature for a friend. That's completely different. For a real life friend you've known for absolute donkey's years, painting one for them is completely different. But doing
Yep.
favors because you need, it's that old thing. People do a lot of favors to get reach out on social media and stuff,
Mm.
but how big is your reach actually? You don't. How much do you get paid? Do you get paid for your reach on Instagram and YouTube? No.
No.
Unless you've got 10,000 views, you don't start getting paid, and Instagram doesn't pay you bugger all anyway. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, having someone share your post for you, oh, you paint this figure for me, and I'll share your post. Cool. Is that going to buy me a loaf?
No. No.
No. Work for what you're worth, but you should never undersell yourself.
Exactly.
Never.
Yeah, and I
Um,
think that's something that's worth people always bearing in mind.
yeah.
And on that, I do appreciate you giving up your time tonight to speak to me,
No, no,
obviously. So,
that's fine. No, yeah, that's
um,
fine.
I was going to also mention, obviously, where you sort about your commissions and stuff. You still sell a couple of your things online, like your window frames and your
Yeah, so
roof bits, don't you?
I don't sell them. I when Rich did the laser cutting, I wanted a load of bits for me, really selfishly. So obviously, he's got a laser cutter. I'm going to take advantage of it. He's a mate.
Why not?
I paid for his time. So when he moved, he then had to stop doing the laser cutting, which is fine. My deal with Rich was I gave him my designs.
Yep.
He didn't pay for them or anything. I got some bits and pieces when I wanted them up to a certain point, and then I paid for the materials, and he put them on do a cut for me.
Mhm.
Now I have someone else has taken over the cutting of them. Scenery Sunday.
Yeah.
Um, quite a small following, but hopefully he'll grow. He has every single one of my designs now, and I'm now continually making him some more. So his shop will grow and grow and grow with the
Yeah.
designs I'm making. But again, I've not charged him for any of the files, and I won't. I'll continue not to.
Mhm.
Um, he's trying to make a business out of it. I just want free stuff so I can build from it. You know what I mean?
It is, yeah. I understand that entirely. I did.
So,
I contacted a guy who we had a guy who does 3D printing on here ages ago called March of War,
yeah, March of
and
War.
yeah, as a side comment, he said to us, if you boys ever want any stuff designed and printed out, I'll do it for you. And I reached out to him on the off chance and was like, could you do this as a logo, like a shoulder pad thing for me? He went, yeah, I'll do it if as long as you don't mind buying it. I was like, it's fine.
Yeah,
He did it. I bought 100 of them.
there you go. Perfect.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and now he lists them on his website.
Oh, nice.
So I might be the only person who's ever bought them off him,
It's a
but
product
they're
though. It's a
there if
product.
anybody else wants them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, Scenery Sundays will be stocking all my stuff, and I've got an affiliate link. So if he sells anything through me advertising it, I get a little kickback, which is really cool. He didn't have to do that, and I don't mind if he didn't. So, but I will be doing some classes soon. A lot of people have asked me to do some classes. It'll be like a full day thing, but I've not designed the building for that yet because you obviously can't build one of these in a day.
Yeah,
Um, but I've made a little mausoleum type building a while ago. I'm going to create a file for that, and we'll just do a full day where we just build this thing. And it could be we could do one day we build it, and the second day we would paint it, or it could be one day or the other. But I've
that
had a lot
sounds
of
actually
interest in it.
that
So
sounds really. I'd probably be bang up for that because that's like I say, it's that sort of initial baby steps.
yeah,
I suppose that like a lot of people who want to learn a certain style of painting will go away to a day where they do that sort of stuff. But something like that's right on my street because it is just that I've got ideas in my mind about how I would have liked to do something, but no idea how to approach it or how I'd sort of work it and the space and the mess and all of those little bits. But something like that would be
yeah.
pretty
Yeah, that'd be
interesting.
really cool. Yeah. So I think I've planned it out a little bit. So you'd have like an hour or so in the morning where I get my Proxon out. That's a brand name, so I'm not sponsored. But it's the Rolls Royce of hot wire cutters. So I get that out and I show people how I cut the foam and stuff. I'd give everyone a handful of foam to shake in a box of rocks to weather them up and stuff, and they'd all be pre-cut just to save time.
Yeah,
And then they people just bring themselves, and I bring the tweezers and the glue and stuff like that, and go, here you go, get to town. But
yeah.
it'd all be on like an MDF carcass. So like the most of my like, there's one in the background for those that can see that one there. That's the watchtower that I'll be building next, and that's one again that I've designed. It fits all the windows that I've designed in it as well, and all the doors as well. You just add a cardboard roof to cover it, and then stick shingles on. Um, so yeah, I mean that thing is not going to be built in a day, so I have to create something smaller for a workshop. I don't think I'll ever get to the heady heights of going to do a workshop at Adepticon, but but never say never, you know.
No,
Um,
no, definitely not. I mean, we've still got the equivalents over here, so who knows? One day,
yeah,
Games
yeah.
Expo
I'm
and that
waiting for
sort of stuff.
Salou to start doing classes, but they haven't got a large enough venue, have they?
No, Excel. I like Excel, but it's not.
Not
It's
easy
not
to get
that.
to.
No, but there's that. I mean, it was easy enough when I lived in London, but no, I don't. It's a bit of a pain in the
Yeah,
arse. But it's it. I've done certain events there. Like we took my kid to a Christmas thing they had there once, and considering it is just a couple of it's basically an aircraft hangar, isn't it?
It is, yeah,
And they've
exactly
cut it
that.
into its quarters and stuff. But they could have done a bit more with it. I felt last year could have done with a bit more space, but then you get towards the back of it, and it felt like there's too much space with not enough in it. It's a weird sort of
This
paradoxical
year
thing.
looks absolutely rand. You see
Yeah, it does
the floor
actually.
map, it looks
Mm,
insane. It really does. And they've sold 4,500 tickets like 2 months ago.
yeah,
So I mean,
yeah. I
it's
think it sounds like it's because considering a couple of years ago they were talking about binning it off and never doing
yeah,
it again. It's impressive. So fair play to them. But I am looking forward to that. But yeah, like I say, I think something like that, a little bit more interactive. Let's get classes on the go would be
yeah,
perfect for them.
I've got a local Egham tabletop gaming around the corner from me.
Mhm.
They've got a little space that we can use for a Saturday.
Cool.
Um, so it will obviously be a ticketed event,
Yep.
so people don't have to pay for it, but a portion of that ticket will go straight to them as well for being the local gaming club, so they can buy terrain and stuff like that. Again, I'm not out to make money. I'm out to share my knowledge.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
learn everything I do by watching videos and learning from other people. So why is it fair to me to gatekeep that for myself? I should be giving that out to everyone else for free. Yeah, I appreciate you got to buy product and stuff, but again, I get paid to do my day job. It's a hobby, so
Yeah. And,
if I can
yeah.
share that with other people, I will.
Yeah, as long as it's a little bit to the gaming club for their space, you're getting the money for the materials and stuff. You
Yeah,
know,
I just make some friends and have a good laugh and teach people how
yeah,
to build some terrain. Yeah,
exactly. No,
if there's a
it does
couple of
sound
quid
good.
left for a pint afterwards, happy days. I'm
Yeah.
a I'm a simple
So,
man.
this is something else I wanted to ask you because I nearly went and bought it the other day, but I'm going to wait till next month. The recent one that you done, which was based on the range little
Yeah,
MDF, they called it a
yes.
puzzle.
This is the one I've been showing people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How when you saw that, how quick was your brain just to jump in to be like bricks, 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 board, beam, beam,
I'll
beam, done.
be honest with you, pretty instant. Um, I had one. I don't know how far you've gone on my list, but the Gates Tower, the
Mm,
the big one with the gate and the big balsa wood
yeah.
balcony at the back, that came to me while I was sat at Chessington World of Adventures waiting for my daughter to get off the roundabout. Because they've got a big gate tower like that.
They
You go
do.
underneath it to the Mexicana land.
Yeah.
And I went, I could build that. So I came home and I built it. I built the box as soon as I got home. It took me a few weeks to build.
Yeah.
But Langdon Games bought that from me. They're on Instagram,
Okay.
Langdon Games. Really, really cool guys. They bought that and a load of my other builds from me for their shop, and they've got it on display there, and they use it on their gaming tables, which is awesome. I told them probably not use the balsa wood stairs because they'll snap. But
But that's
yeah,
crazy how inspiration can just strike you. Like Chessington as well. When you think about it, where the vampire ride is, there is some impressive stuff there.
yeah,
But like, it's crazy how it can just strike at any second, isn't it?
yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, the castle gates kind of struck myself because they were bricks anyway. They've now
Yeah.
painted it rainbow colours, which is cool. It's really, really striking. But I wasn't about to do that with my model because it, you know. But yeah, I
But
just saw that. I saw the house and I thought the scale on the range ones isn't perfect.
yeah.
So for me anyway, I do a certain spacing on my windows on all of them to get the right height of a human and stuff like that. Um, so obviously some of my windows go over the wood a little bit, but I just use a little saw and a chisel to
Yeah.
take a little bit off. And I'm going to put some tea lights in it so it will light up when it's done as well, which would
Cool.
be cool.
That would be cool.
Um, but yeah, I added the second chimney because I wanted a second chimney on it.
Yep.
And people are like, why is there a second chimney? It's like, look at all the houses when you go past the old ones. They've all got like 20 because they
Yeah.
had a fire in every room.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Even the one I
Some of
live,
the.
you can see it. There's one on that side of the house, one on
Yeah,
that side of the house, and it's like, hey,
exactly.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the balcony piece for this I didn't use because it was slightly warped because they don't use a cutter, they use a punch.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've got a metal punch for it. So I made my own balcony and stuff for it. But yeah, I looked at it, I was like, that's really cool. Weirdly, the range do 3 other models in the same set. None of them are suitable in my opinion. This is the only one that was suitable. It's not going to stop me buying them and trying.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, they're £6.99. It's brilliant, but
That's the other
just
thing
for a
that struck
quick,
me. Like you looked at it, it's $6.99. It's like rude not to.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I've got we've got two cottage ones and the tower. What else has he got? We've got a small woodsman's hut and of course, woodsman's or hag's hut, or however you do it. There'll be a mausoleum and stuff. There's going to be loads coming. But you buy the MDF structure from them,
Hmm.
from Scenery Sunday once I've designed them all.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're very expensive either. Not to take anything away from the range.
But we know why we go there because it's cheap and cheerful,
On
and
budget.
occasionally you
Yes.
find the odd gem in there like that.
You can spend 20 quid on crafting materials for your daughter, and she'll be happy with you for the next 4 or 5 years. It's great. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or as I did the other day, spent 170 on a barbecue for the missus. So there you go.
Nice. Very
There you go.
nice.
That's what it's there for.
Oh, they
It's, it was
also
there.
now, the one in where I live stocks high coat paints. You know, the blue
Well,
cans.
yeah.
I will swear that they are the best undercoats for any plastic model ever. They are phenomenal. The black specifically, the black matte black is just amazing. I still swear by Halford's white primer because don't use Games Workshop ones because I'm sorry, Games Workshop, it's shite. So, but yeah, high
With
coat black. Halford's grey and Halford's white are good, but so is high coat really good. Yeah, I'll stop plugging other brands now. I promise.
no, you know what? If Dunk was here, he'd say the same. Don't give a shit. If
Yeah,
it works and you're recommending it, rude not to,
yeah,
because
exactly.
that's
Yeah,
what we're here about here. If something works for us, share it, get it out there, let more people know about it,
yeah,
because the better it is. And there we go in the chat. Six up save, high coat black's the bomb, Halford's grey is the goat. So it's perfect. It's what we need to know. Now, I do have a quick question for you, but have you heard the saying, when life gives you lemons, what do you
when
do?
life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, right?
No, you go and get oranges, because this show is sponsored by Orange Brushes. High quality, stable brushes at a low, low price. Go online, Orange Brushes. Use the code Inquisition in chat, in the coupon thing, all the caps, 10% off. No kickbacks for us. We just love their brushes. They're great. And that's the plug. And I was thinking about that for why has she got so many lemons in the fruit bowl, but I'm going to use them. Pow.
That
When
is
you
a
watch this
segue
back,
to end all segues. That is brilliant.
so that's it. I felt I had to do that at some point. It's been in the back of my brain for most of the evening that there's fucking lemons in the bowl. Use them. But, yeah. So I'm going to do our usual thing. If you've watched us before, you know we love to go off topic. And
That's
that's
fine.
what
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
going to do now.
I try and shoot them
So
every
let's
week if I can. I just don't always get a chance.
now, you know what? We love that because we do get people who dip in and out when they can, and we're not going to pressure
No, of
people
course.
into tuning in
Yeah,
and bullying them into viewing us because at the end of the day, life comes first, doesn't it? You know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just it is what it is. And again, just on that, thank you very much for agreeing to do this tonight rather than yesterday because I wasn't awake yesterday evening. So that
That
is
would not have been a
appreciated.
fun interview.
Yeah, me stumbling around awake. Look at all of these fucking people. Whee! So, off topic we go. And the first thing that we always sort of like to sort of delve into is what else you do outside of the hobbying sort of cycle. So, you know, you're sitting down on an evening, you've looked at that bit of building and you're like, no, I don't fancy that tonight. I'll do something else. What are you doing instead of building all your terrain?
Lego.
I had a feeling it was going to be. I had a feeling
If you
because
can
if you're
see the
dealing with foam
video
blocks,
now, if you watch it back, I'm just tilting my camera up. That's my Lego shelf just behind me, and up there is all my Iron Man Lego minifigures. I've collected. Oh, my daughter's coming up. You'll probably see a little girl come in the camera in a minute. Sorry, she's going to say goodnight.
never work with
Um,
kids. You know.
yeah, animals or kids.
Yeah.
I have collected the Iron Man minifigures. Sorry, hello monkey. Oh, you in bed?
No,
Go on in.
I
Go on, monkey. I learned to spell. You learned to spell? You already know how to spell. Go on. Off you go. Night, monkey. Sorry, guys. So yeah, I started collecting the Iron Man Lego figures when they came out for 2012.
yeah.
I'm lucky enough to have managed to get every single one so far, bar one, which is the New York Toy Fair one.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's
So
three
that
grand.
one's going to be
Yes,
a bit
3 grand
pricey
for a
then.
single minifigure. And if I get that, I'm going to get divorced very quickly. So it won't just
So
cost me
it's
3 grand; it'll cost me
yeah,
half a house as well. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um,
yeah, definitely.
yeah, I don't. I generally don't buy Lego sets though.
Okay.
I because I mean, I'm quite creative. I design and build my own stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm building a 9 foot long Lego pirate ship at the moment.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's going to have about 40,000 pieces in it, not including minifigures or cargo or anything like that.
Yeah.
As I do some Lego shows and I display my builds at Lego shows as
Oh,
well. I've been in the
okay.
Southampton Echo for some of my builds and stuff like that, and a few other bits and pieces here and there, which is quite cool. Um, but we were at one of the shows in Milton Keynes once, and my brother said, "What are we missing?" I said, "Something massive," and he went, "Well, what about a minifigure scale pirate ship?" And then, unfortunately, because he put the seed in my head,
Yeah.
it grew. So, as a way to get
Yeah.
around as a way to get
Not
around
good.
the
Yeah.
cost and the expense of it all, I started making it in sections. So you
Okay.
get a slice of the ship and you can see every single deck and you can see all the decorations inside it. The problem is that's expensive. I should have just made a shell. Now I've got 5 sections and there will be 7, maybe 8, and it'll be 9 foot long. From the floor to the top of the tallest mast is 1.2 meters,
Oh,
and it's not based
lovely.
on modern Lego pirates. It's based on the classic pirates from
Yeah.
the 80s and 90s,
I was going to say,
and they're very
'cause,
expensive.
yeah, that classic Lego Pirate stuff is what's seared into my
Yeah,
brain. It's one of the first ever proper printed pirate heads with the ginger captain and his little hook hand and the eye patch, and he's
I've
smiling.
I've got him at the wheel.
And you got to,
um,
haven't you? You've got
yeah,
to.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean that's it captures everyone's imaginations at the Lego shows. The kids
Yeah.
love it because it's pirates, and the adults love it because they're like, oh, it's classic pirates.
I
The
was
best
going to
bit
say,
about the
because
ship is the back bit, the keel. It opens up like a butterfly,
oh,
and it shows every single deck on it. It's really detailed. I'm really, really pleased. Really, really pleased with it. The wife wants me to finish it so we can get rid of it, but you know,
no, never get rid of it because you've got to keep it. It's 9 foot long. It's in
I don't know
1.2 meters
where I'm
wide.
going to put it, Casey. That's the problem. But
Well, that's always the problem, like especially with these hobbies, isn't it? Like I love a bit of Lego, and at the moment for me, the thing I like is all the new car ranges that are coming out, where it's all the sports cars and stuff.
yeah,
Because I love a car. I'm never going to be able to afford a sports car, but for 15 quid, you tell me I can have a little Lego car in my
the Sea
hand.
Champion stuff is
Yeah,
really cool. Have you seen the new F1 stuff? The new
yeah,
F1
yeah,
stuff's really good. Yeah,
does.
yeah,
And I've got, I did a little while ago, I did a little frame. Again, it was like a range thing. It was one of those weird little long frames that have a bit of string and all the little washing clips in it.
yeah.
Like you've got a little washing line and you put your little pictures on it. And the string snapped, and the missus was like, I'll just throw it away. I'm like, no. I've got a couple of command strips, stuck the cars onto them, and now it's sitting on a shelf in the front room.
Nice.
And it's like one of my little things. But I just got more and more cars, and now I don't have enough frames for them, so they're all in a drawer upstairs. But isn't it amazing, like the quality difference? Like as much as, like you say, that the classic pirate stuff to me is iconic,
Yeah.
but to what it all is now is the leaps and bounds in it is insane.
Well, when I was a kid, maybe not you, I think I'm slightly older than you, um, there was only 7 or 8 different colours to Lego, and now there are 50 to 60 different colours.
Yeah, see that.
So adding a few extra colours in is, I mean, obviously we know with our painting and stuff, it makes a massive difference to the
Yeah,
spectrum of things and the way you can look at everything. I'm just going to go back to the pirate ship again. I've tried to stick to 5 or 6 different colours to keep it as classic as
yeah.
possible, but
Because
then
it
I
was,
add the
wasn't
modern
it? Just the
twist in
one.
with the gold and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Because it was the palette of it for like the pirates. It was the grey, black, and then
The
the typical
reddish brown.
brown for the yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
and
A
that was
little bit of
it.
green from a palm tree here and there, or a
Yep.
red parrot. The
Or
red parrots were pretty cool.
you maybe have the classic monkey hanging off or something because that was one of the
Yeah,
first
we
times that
decided
popped up.
not to have any monkeys on ours because you definitely have a parrot or a seagull or two, but you wouldn't have any monkeys. So we decided not to
Yeah,
have any monkeys on ours. But yeah.
that always sort of struck me as a weird one to have. Like, and I remember I had a pirate ship, and it wasn't. There was the two big ones that they
Yeah.
had, and then they had the baby one that had like a cannon on a little pivot in the middle. I had
Yes.
that one,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and that I loved that. It was just such a simple little thing.
What
But
so what bugged me about them was you got the shipwreck sets and you got the
mhm,
2 pirates and a monkey on an island. How
yeah,
did the monkey get there?
Shipwrecked. There you go. It's done.
There's a monkey galleon sailing off, a gorilla captain and stuff. Yeah, madness. But
It's
yeah,
Lego. Who cares? There you go.
other than the building hobby, Lego is probably my second,
Mm,
and then it's spending time. Obviously, well, no, spending time with family is first, obviously.
obviously.
But then we've started to play a lot of video
Mm,
games now as
mm,
well. Daughter's getting older, so she can play the PlayStation now, which is great.
yep.
So we're playing a lot of co-op video games. So we
Cool.
just completed Split Fiction. I'm not sure if you've heard of that one.
Uh, I've got a mate who's got a PlayStation. I've heard of it, but I can't say I've seen it in action.
It's really really good. We just loaded up Hogwarts Legacy. We're a bit late to the game on that one. But yeah, I have completed with the wife and the daughter this year alone more games. I mean, 100% completed platinum them
Yeah.
than I ever did as a child.
See,
We've just
this
got
is
more patience. It's
yeah.
mad.
I will say, like, since having a kid, and he's gotten into games recently. Like, he loves Mario Kart. So that for me, because I've played Mario Kart since I was like
Yeah,
10. Perfect.
we're
Fine.
waiting for
That's
the new
nice music.
Switch to come out to get that.
Oh yeah, I've got that on order. Don't worry about
Yeah, so
that.
we.
Yeah, but he downloaded it on his tablet, and I saw him playing it. It's like this is just completely different because all you do is just
Yeah,
swipe left and right to turn corners, and that's it. So I was like, no, no, you're not learning to play Mario Kart like this. Here's a controller, do it properly. And
Mushroom
in the
Cart,
car,
Rainbow Road.
Rainbow, yeah, on the SNES Rainbow Road as well. That's
Yeah.
it. But I was listening. I've let him play it in the car today, and just listening to his little squeals. Like he's only playing it on like 50 and 100, but he's getting his first place and second places because he's working at it.
Yeah, perfect.
And it is that little sense of reward almost, isn't it? Like that you can't cheat a computer game.
No, no.
You can, but they don't know how to yet, so
Yeah.
that's fine. But it's just watching their little minds go with it, isn't it? And running with it. It's nice to see it.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, my daughter is figuring out the puzzles quicker than we are, and we're not stupid people. It's just the brains work faster, don't they, when
Yeah.
they're younger? So, yeah,
Yeah, that's another thing we do with him. He's got this. He's got a mind for numbers, and he loves learning languages. So we set him up on the Duolingo app, like one
yes,
of.
my wife does Spain. My wife does Spanish, and I do Japanese.
Oh,
I did Japanese on Duolingo. Yeah.
I do German, but he at the moment he's doing. If I list them out, right, no word of a lie, he's doing German, Czech, French, Italian.
Wow.
The other day, bless him, he piped up that he wanted to start doing Polish because he's got Polish friends
Oh,
in
that's
school and he
cool.
wants to be able to speak to them.
Yeah, yeah, that's
And
cool.
he's doing 5 different languages at the age of like
He's
6.
going to be a polyglot.
He's going to be bloody something. But if he doesn't make a million, I'm going to be livid. But it is just that. So it's their brains, isn't it? They take on so
Yeah,
much because there's nothing up there to worry about in a way, and they're able just to keep a hold of it so much better. Like when we were kids, if someone turned around and went, "Here's a book, read another language," you would either gone, "Yeah, okay," or "No, sort of."
no, does it have space or guns or
Yeah.
pirates in it? I'm not interested. Yeah,
And can I build something with this book? No, and then it's not going to go
yeah,
away. But yeah, it's beautiful watching their minds work sometimes, isn't
yeah, it
it?
really is. Yeah, absolutely.
Has your daughter started taking steps into following into daddy's world of hobbying at all?
So there is a video on my Instagram, I think, of some of her first ever walls. We made some ruined walls and stuff. And bear me 1 second. For those of you that can see,
For those with video, not me.
this is the first tower I ever created. It's quite large. Again, Pringles tube. And that is a Marks and Spencer snack tube. Isla helped me build this. So yeah, my daughter helped me build that completely. She helped me cut all the bricks, shape them, and stick them all on. I painted it, but yeah. I even picked the materials. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, she just shouted from the bath. I even picked the materials. She did,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's beautiful when they start developing that interest as well. It's like, what are you doing? And they want to come over and see what's going on and can they help out? And
Yeah,
like my lad goes over the moon when he walks into the Games Workshop stop, gets his mini of the month. He comes home, he sticks 2 paints on it and says it's done. But to him, it's it's a work of art. He's
It is done,
absolutely
yeah.
over the moon with it, you know, and
I
it's
never
beautiful.
kept my first ever minifigure my figure I painted, but I do have my daughter's,
Yeah,
and
I'm
it's a
gonna make sure I
blue,
keep it.
gold, and brown Space Marine, and I shall keep that. Yeah. Unfortunately,
He,
it's Primaris.
oh, that's all right. He painted a Primaris one, and he painted its shoulders red, its head yellow, its chest blue, and his legs green. And
Oh,
I was like, you
perfect.
know what? If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But then when we moved into the house, that sort of sense of colours followed him, and we asked him how he'd like to decorate his bedroom. So he's got a ceiling that's basically goblin green.
Nice.
He's got a yellow wall and an orange wall, and it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, you
So
got
when
to
you
live
want to
in.
redecorate that ceiling, it's going to be an absolute pig, right?
Yep, yep. I'll probably just spray it black, just paint it black. That'll do
Yeah.
it. But he just his again like just seeing his little brain work with picking colours and what he thinks are nice, and again just go with it, man.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Yeah.
so, with respect to your so you Lego in,
Yep.
you game in with the Lego. I know you said you don't do sets much, but given a lot of like, and this is something I've noticed recently as well, that they're getting more and more brands, aren't they? Lego,
Yeah.
like
So
back in the kid,
licensing, yeah.
yeah, back as a kid, you'd sit there, you'd build a set, and you'd pretend it was the Death Star, and now all of a sudden they've got a Lego Death Star. So has any of the stuff that's coming out sort of caught your eye and you thought,
I do buy, so I don't buy a lot of sets. I do buy some, but I
"Hmm,
predominantly buy single bricks and stuff. So
yeah,
today I bought the Lion Man, the new Iron Man Hall of Armor,
yep,
because I'm not going to pay for the figures individually because they're really expensive. So I'll
yeah,
buy the whole set and that comes home. I bought the Mustang Creator Vehicle, the big
hmm
one,
yeah, yep,
because it's my favorite car, the Mustang. So I do buy a few sets. I like the what they used to be called Kazoo, but the Lego Ideas sets. So
yes,
I've got the Ecto one and the DeLorean. I also bought the Scooby Doo Mystery
oh,
Machine set as well.
yeah,
So
yeah,
just to collect all the figures. I collect stuff that reminds me of my childhood a little bit, you know.
yeah,
Um, but I'm not sure if I'd ever buy like a £600 Death Star
yeah,
because I've got nowhere to
spit
put it, and
no,
it's just £600 worth of plastic. I've got
yeah,
more Lego than that anyway, but that's not the point.
yeah. Because I will say,
um,
I've got my eye on the Legend of Zelda Deku Tree, just because
there's more
Ocarina
Zelda
of
coming
Time. When
next year.
don't tell me that,
Yeah,
don't
more
tell me
Zelda
that.
coming next year.
Oh no, I'm about to have a look at that
Do you
now.
know
But
about the £1,000 Death Star coming as well?
don't do that.
There's another Death Star coming. It's going to be over £1,000. It's going to be massive.
Better get a new credit card. But that's the insanity of it, isn't it? Like my first job, right, when I left school, college, I was a part timer at Toys R Us, and for a couple of years I went full time just because I didn't know what I was going to do in life. And I
Miss Toys
thought,
R
but
Us.
mate, Toys R Us, it's Toys R Us. They're paying me weekly, which back when I was 18 was amazing.
Friday nights are always good in the
And
pub.
yeah, and that was it. It was weekly pocket money to go get pissed with.
Yeah.
So, it was brilliant. But that was just when all the Lego Star Wars stuff started coming out.
Yes.
Uh, Part of me wishes like I grabbed a couple of boxes and preserved them because they're just what
They're
they could
worth a
be worth
fortune
now.
now. Some of the
Yeah,
Lego minifigures that came in some of the cheapest Star Wars sets back then, it
yeah,
only appeared in one set, and they're 90 to £110 each for the figure. So
yeah. I've
yeah, it's
got
pretty mad.
I've got the original Slave one. I
Uh,
did get that.
that,
I
that's
didn't
cool.
keep the box,
Yeah,
but
you can buy the box on Bricklink.
there you go. But the set itself, I remember the first time that came out, I was like, I'm having that, just because it's Boba Fett. Come on, who wouldn't?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it was absolutely mustard. And the other thing I always remember working there was they had a second edition copy of 40K,
Ooh.
and I wish I got that because I was into 40K at the time.
Yeah.
But it was that little bit of, do I buy this from where I work and let people know how nerdy I am? Mm.
Yeah. I always remember
And I should have
seeing
done it.
the 40K editions in the Argos catalogue and
Yeah,
Space Crusade and stuff like that, and thinking, oh, that'd be really cool.
yeah,
And then we never got them.
yeah. That's the
So,
thing.
yeah.
It's just I didn't want my workmates knowing that how deep I went down the rabbit hole, and I just never got it. And in the end, I think they sent it back and got their money back for it. Fuckers. But
I don't think I was really ever a massive nerd until I moved to where I live now with the girlfriend at the time. She was girlfriend at the time, now wife.
Yeah.
I don't think I was ever a nerd until I discovered Games Workshop, and then
I
it flipped a switch in me.
I will say I was, just because I was a massive Star Wars geek, and like
Oh,
as a
I
kid,
liked Star Wars and
yeah,
Transformers and stuff, but I read some comics when I was growing up, but I never had a huge collection. I never had random
no,
stuff
for
like that.
me,
So yeah, I think I turned into a massive nerd as soon as I discovered Games Workshop and all the stuff like that. And then obviously later on down the line, Magic the Gathering and stuff like that.
yeah.
And yeah, mad.
So this is something that we usually ask, and this is actually quite a good way of segueing into this. But when you first showed your girlfriend, now wife, your little Warhammer collection, as it was at the time, if you had it, how did you sort of approach it? Was it a case of
Thankfully,
she walked in,
I
she
lived
saw it,
with
and that
her.
was it?
No, I thankfully I lived with her when I started. So
Perfect.
she was, when you see someone on a daily basis, you can never tell if they lose weight.
Yep.
She she saw my collection on a daily basis. They can never tell when I added a model.
Bet she can now.
She encouraged me as well. We went out and
Yeah.
bought in our old flat. We went and bought an old computer cupboard so I could lock it all away and keep it neat. And as long as it was neat and tidy in a way, she was happy. Now I have a whole room with a desk next to it for her to work on. She's not as happy because it's never as tidy as it should be, and rightly so. I probably should tidy it after this actually. But yeah, my hobby collection grew with her, and she bought me stuff, and
Mhm.
she enabled me, shall we say? She doesn't
See, that's
anymore.
that's a positive though, because like for a lot of we when we've had some random guys on before, they're sort of like, I think one or two, it was just a case of they brought the girlfriend home for the first time, and they were like, "Oh, by the way, I do this," and pointed to like their collection, and it was kind of like a rude awakening. But others have sort of crept it in, so it's nice to hear a different sort of angle of it. It's that you were together at the time and then started doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a different way.
She's
And
a bit of a geek anyway. She works in computer games and has worked in the movie business in the past. So yeah, she likes all that kind of stuff anyway. So she's a video gamer as well, and that. So yeah, it's really cool. She plays D&D with me on with my regular group as well. So yeah, yeah.
okay, is it handy having that shared interest between you then? Because like my partner looks at the stuff I do, and she's like, "What the
Well,
fuck is this? What are you doing?"
when I first started, we bought the old Empire and Orcs fantasy box
Yep.
set. And she painted some orcs, and I really wish she didn't because she was 20 times better than I was. Um, but she didn't have the patience to finish painting the box, so she only painted like three or four.
Yep.
And then I lost the love for the orcs back then, and then we got rid of them. So, but yeah, so I think if she tried it now, I think I would definitely be better than her, mainly because of her 20 years painting experience. But
Yep.
I still don't think it would take her long. I really don't. She's an arty background anyway, so
And
yeah.
this is when we had a month a little while ago, a lot of female guests on, and it
You
was
did.
always the one question
It was
we
a
would sort
great
of say
month.
to them.
Really enjoyed that.
Thank you very much. It was always one of the questions we'd ask is, "Are you more artistic than your partner that does it?" And the vast majority of them are. I think ladies have just got a different eye for it, and different. Their brains are wired a little bit differently to ours, and
Yeah.
they can express it a lot better.
I think my wife would say that she's arty. I use my art more than she does, absolutely, but because she uses it for a job.
Yeah,
Um, but I'm way more creative. And she'll tell you that herself as well. She can hear what I'm saying, so she'll correct me if I'm wrong. Trust me. But I'm more creative. I can think of things off the top of my head and
yeah,
just do them like the inspiration strikes for the models I build and stuff like that. Um, she'll have to have a defined plan, and then it will come. But
yeah.
mine is more instant kind of thing. So, but yeah, no, it is good having her around. Sometimes I float ideas off her, and she just bats them away and goes, "No, that's shit. Don't bother." Then you put
But
her
you are
through it
pretty
anyway.
honest
She's
with
like, "Damn it, she was right."
it. So do a couple of more
Yeah,
off-topic
go on.
questions, and then we'll wrap it up on some more hobby stuff. So, with respect, as you say, you've tuned in a couple of times before. When you're sitting down on an evening and you're chilling out, what are you drinking?
Rum.
Okay, what's your
Yes.
mixer of choice with that?
Diet Coke, unfortunately. I'm a Philistine. Yeah. I can, it depends on what rum it is. If it's an incredibly expensive £300 bottle, I'm drinking it neat.
Yeah,
Um, but if it's a Sailor Jerry's, it's getting mixed with rum. It's getting mixed with Coke. So
Sailor Jerry and Coke is iconic, though.
yeah.
Oh,
I always have a bottle of Sailor Jerry's or Captain Morgan's as emergency rum in the cupboard, but I also like to try the different ones as well.
yeah.
I have a friend, or I had a friend. We would pull some money every 2 or 3 months, and we'd buy an incredibly expensive bottle of rum,
Wait,
and then we'd stick Star Wars on or something and drink the whole thing in a night, and it was great.
that's not a bad way
So
of doing it because I've got some mates who are into their whiskies and they
yeah,
always go sort of mid table price wise, and you do think that you
you
all enjoy it. So why don't
all
you just
club
come together and
together.
get a big one?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
look,
I
sorry,
don't mind
but hang
whiskey,
on.
but no, you're right.
No, no, go on, Pete. Go on then. I'll be in a minute. Okay? Yeah, but she's wearing Star Wars pajamas.
Good girl.
But yeah, so
So,
rum
yeah,
or Diet Coke on its own. Yeah.
what crisp of choice are you having with your drink on an evening?
Crisps. Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, Marks and Spencers. I don't shop there. They have a salt and black pepper crisp, and it
Okay.
is ridiculous. It's the big multi-party pack, the big party pack crisps they
Yeah.
sell in there. So they do
Yeah.
the cream cheese and onion one. It's in the
Yeah.
same section as that. They've got a
Okay.
new barbecue flavour out, but their salt and black pepper one is absolutely insane. Yeah, it's delicious.
We do dabble with the Marks and Spencer's crisp in the house because my partner likes the beef and onion ones. She's
Ah,
vegetarian, but she likes beef flavored crisps. Don't ask. Um,
I
but yeah,
think
so
beef
that's
flavoured
worth a look.
crisps are one of the worst smelling things ever put on earth.
See, you say that, but my next question followed this up nicely because, with respect to smell, I hate the smell of baked beans and will never put one on my fryer.
Oh, okay.
What are you? What is a must-have on your fryer, and what is a must-remove?
You can get rid of the fried tomato and the black pudding. Keep it away; it's evil.
Oh,
But you
okay.
must put mushrooms on.
Are we talking big mushroom or
Oh,
little
little
mushrooms?
mushrooms. Big mushroom just soak up all the water. It's horrible. No, little mushrooms. Yeah, little mushrooms fried within an inch of their life. Yeah,
Yeah,
delicious.
garlic on it.
Oh, and a
Yes.
hash brown. Not a lot of people use hash browns on their fry up. I love a hash
I,
brown.
I love a hash brown. Like I get if I'm feeling flush and I get a McDonald's breakfast, I've got to have the hash brown and I put it in my muffin.
Yeah. I mean, and then I buy a second one to eat afterwards, of course.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to have the bonus
That's the
one.
hash
But
brown I'm talking about, though. None of this rubbish, home fried rubbish. I mean, I've had them in America. They're okay, but not like you need a greasy hash brown. That's what you need.
cheap shop bought frozen thing, you can just nip in the
Exactly.
freezer, stick it in the oven for 20
Done.
minutes. Yes, I am here for
Yeah.
that. So next one, and this is another one that we sort of pop up with every now and again. Pie filling of choice.
Had a pie tonight, and it was ham leek and chicken ham and leek.
Okay, very nice.
Yes,
Very nice.
that is my favourite. I used to really enjoy steak, and I don't eat beef anymore.
Okay.
Um, it's a personal choice. I love beef,
Mhm.
but the two biggest, just as a quick aside, the two biggest contributors to CO2, I believe that I sort of scientifically,
Yep.
flying and cows.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah, because
not going to stop flying anytime soon. And I know it's only
yes, fair
one,
enough.
and I know it's only one person, but that's
No,
a
no,
personal
no.
choice.
I
And I
understand that.
prefer
That
chicken
makes sense.
anyway. I prefer chicken.
You
So
know what? I
still
will say
vegetarian.
that I do prefer chicken.
Yeah.
I prefer chicken. If I'm feeling flush and I'd want a different bit of meat, I'll go with like turkey, or if I'm feeling proper fancy, I'll have an odd bit of venison. But
If
beef,
I've won the lottery, I'll buy some lamb.
you know what? At the moment, the way lamb's priced, I don't blame you because I was gonna pick like a packet of diced lamb up the other day for a couple of homemade kebabs,
Oh,
and it
nice.
was like £7 for like a tiny packet. It's like fuck
It's
off.
it's mad, isn't it? It's crazy. But
Yeah,
yeah,
how's
so
it
yeah,
£7?
I don't get me wrong. The last massive holiday me and the wife had was before my daughter was born, and we were in Japan, and we went to a little town called Hida, which is a kind of a rival to Wagyu, and their beef was the best beef I've ever had in my life. So I'm happy to stop there. you know,
That's
I've had
yeah,
I've had
that's fair
I've
enough.
had I've had a Wagyu steak as well, but the Hida beef for me, because I was in Japan, it was in a field, then it was on my plate.
Yeah,
Best steak I've ever had. So I'm happy to stop there.
I think
I'll stop undefeated.
then that's the thing, in it. Once you've plateaued,
Yeah.
you can't just go back to Tesco anymore and get like a cheap bit of steak from them,
No,
can you?
exactly. There's no such thing as a chicken that's been kept in the dark for 6 weeks, so its fat gets marbleized. Chicken's chicken. That'll do.
Yeah, exactly. So I agree with you on that. Right. Thank you very much for going off topic for me for a bit. We'll come back
No worries.
onto the hobby and then we'll wrap it up because it's 1:45 now.
Wow.
We do like to go for an hour and a half. See, this is the thing. Once we get going on this show. It's beautiful. Um, Future plans for yourself. What have you got on the go? What are you thinking of doing next?
Hobby wise, yeah. I've got a
Hmm.
couple of commissions coming up.
Okay.
One's a pretty big painting commission. The other one is a very small design commission. One of them is for someone that's been on your show, but I won't tell you who because I'm not allowed to.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other one is for Crooked Dice. So
Yep.
you know who Crooked Dice is, Carl? So I do a lot of work for Carl. He owns a lot of my old molds from White Shark Gaming Studios. When I sold the business, I sold them to a young man who lives down south of the UK, and he did nothing with them for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And then he put them up for sale. And Carl contacted me and went, "Do you know someone's selling your molds?" I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. You buy them. It's all good." And he said, "Can I contact you if I need anything?" I went, "Absolutely." So we have a very good relationship. He sells a lot of my old stuff, and I make more stuff for him, and I paint more stuff. So I don't know if you saw. I don't know how far back you've been on my Instagram, but there's a load of hard renders of some sci-fi corridors and stuff.
Yeah.
That is what I'll be painting. Carl is going to be releasing that
Okay.
very soon. He's going to be releasing
Oh,
all of
cool.
those for the SCL files and stuff. So people who want to make their own sci-fi corridors, I've designed him a crap load more, and I've still got some more to do for him as well. So I'm
Good.
very good at hard edge. I'm shit at organic. So yeah,
No, see, I think that's a thing generally, isn't it? With like a lot of the sort of people I've seen out there who are doing stuff, the hard edge stuff is just because it's a little bit more. You don't have to be as fiddly with it, do you?
no, not at all. I mean, I've got some friends from where my wife used to work in the movie business that are some of the best sculptors in the world. He
Mm.
used to design some of my other bits I used to sell on White Shot Gaming Studios, one of the guys. And he's got a few friends that have like some of the best organic sculptures in the world, shit at hard edge. I'm like, how can you be crap at hard edge? It's incredibly easy.
The
It's
other
it's
side,
just
isn't it?
it's the perspectives and size and scale and stuff
Yeah,
like that. It's yeah,
it's that
it's all
other side of the same coin, isn't it? Like you can round an edge or you go a straight edge. If you go in between, you'll.
nah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, a couple of commissions on the go. I want to launch the tutorial days if I can,
Yep.
so to get people coming up. I've got a few more designs to give to Scenery Sunday.
Mhm.
And I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to finish off my Armies on Parade board this year. Because again, they've changed the rules of it all. It's very
Yeah.
different again. I've won a few before in the past in my local store. And my
Mhm.
idea was to do this board that I've got, which is going to have over 15,000 bricks in it when it's finished. So, and display my Games Workshop army on it. But I wanted
Mhm.
to do it in my local store and then take it
Yeah.
up to Warhammer World and enter it there as well.
Yeah.
Um, but they never let you know when they're doing it until like a month before.
Mhm.
And I don't want to have it sitting in my workshop, which is basically my shed, getting dusty and full of wasps and
Yeah.
spiders.
Yeah. It's fair enough.
So, and it's one of those things where it's a huge, huge undertaking, and I've kind of fallen out of love with it.
It's always a
I'm
pain in the
sure I'll
arse when
get
that
back
happens,
on it,
isn't it?
but what's
Yeah.
that?
It's always a little bit of a pain in the arse when you've got a project on the go for so long and you just, in the end, you're just like, sod it.
Yeah, these smaller builds, although they take me a couple of weeks to build and paint them, it's you get something out of it when you're done.
Yeah.
Those ones they take. I mean, that's taken me 6 months. That bloody house up there has taken me a year and a half from start to finish so far. So yeah, I'm going to be giving the house away soon as well. When it's done, I'll be giving it away. Yeah.
Let's see. You love it so much. Get rid of
No,
it.
I'm gonna finish it. I'm going to finish the
Yeah.
whole thing and paint it and everything. I'm going to give it away to one of my followers. It's
Good.
not going to be a draw thing or anything. I know who I'm giving it to. I
Oh,
know why
great.
I'm going to give it to them. They haven't got a clue. But it's a channel that I think is phenomenal. I think they do a really good thing for the hobby that they're in.
Yeah.
and I really appreciate what they do. I've never attended anything they've done or anything like that,
Okay.
but I just think what they do is phenomenal. So, but I'll announce that when I'm doing it. I'm not going to give it away now.
No,
Um,
pressure you telling me, so
but
don't worry about that.
but yeah,
But
I'm
that's
really pleased that I can just give that stuff away because I'm not
yeah.
attached to it. So yeah,
And I think it's like you say as well, when it's like a little project that's a labour of love and it's not a commission, it's not something that you're doing as part of a business.
yeah,
If you are able to just sort of do something and be like, oh, by the way, have this,
yeah.
there's that little bit of giving back to people, isn't it? Which I think sometimes
I mean, I've had
when,
people who've bought models off me in the past have said, "Can I buy the house off you?" I'm like, "No, sorry, you can't." Oh, it's not the house; it's an inn. It's called the Angry Dragon Inn. Um, you know what the Angry Dragon
yeah,
is? Yeah, that's why it's called the Angry Dragon Inn. I asked my brother what the name should be, and he said the Angry Dragon Inn. I went, "Yeah, you bloody would, wouldn't you?" So yeah, I've been building it for so long, and we were going to use it for our D&D sessions, and I
yeah,
had the idea to build it, and we needed it the week after. This was
uh,
2 years ago, so we don't need it anymore.
no,
Um, but yeah, I mean, I know you can buy stuff from Loot Studios and print it out and have a cool tavern and stuff,
yeah.
but I don't have a 3D printer.
I think that's the other thing, isn't it? For people that don't have 3D printers and they still want good quality terrain, this is an alternative. It's right out there. It's easy enough, and it's not as. It's great that you can press a couple of buttons and leave something running overnight, but it's not that sense. It's still not that little bit sense of a reward from it, is there?
No, exactly. You haven't designed it yourself. Someone else has sculpted it for you. Yes, of course, you're putting your paint job and you're putting your stamp on it, but
Yeah,
it's like a plastic model. These are completely my own work. Even the laser cut stuff, it's my own design. Um, so if you wanted to do your own work, don't buy laser cut stuff. Do it completely from scratch. I've got hundreds of windows here that have been made completely from scratch, and then I've cast them and
yeah,
molded them. But it's nothing wrong with getting a little bit of help every now and again. We're doing bits and pieces, so uh, yeah,
What
it's
something we always ask as well, and just on this, and I think this is a great question to sort of lead on the way out the door now. For someone like myself who's taking their first baby steps into scratch building terrain and wants to sort of do more, figure out where they're going, figure out what they want to do, what advice would you give?
eat some Pringles. Seriously, eat some Pringles. Get a Pringles tube. Buy a bag of pre-cut bricks from the internet,
Mhm.
eBay or Amazon. Don't break the bank on it because I mean you're buying a bag that you can buy a whole XPS foam sheet for the same price. But
Yeah,
just buy a bag of pre-foam bricks or find someone you know with a cutter, get them to do you some. Just have fun. Make a little
yeah,
door out of some wooden popsicle sticks. Make a window or two and stick some bricks down. Get some advice off people like me. I'm always available if anyone wants to message me. I don't care who it is. I may not answer you straight away, but I will answer you and I'll give you an answer. I don't think I've missed anybody when it's ever messaged me. And just have fun with it and then practice from there. Don't go and spend 140 quid on a process on a hot wire cutter. Don't go and spend 60 quid on a kit that you don't know what you're going to do with. Start small and work your way up. Absolutely. That's the best way of doing it.
that's
It's like when people first
that's
start
brilliant.
doing our hobby, they go and buy a huge battle force and then they go, "Oh shit, what am I doing?" Yeah. No, first eat some Pringles. Have fun first. Eat some Pringles. Get some foam bricks and just shake them in a box of rocks. Use the tutorials out there that are on YouTube by everybody. Um, Black Magic Craft, to name one awesome guy who
Yeah,
used some of my resin columns in one of his builds. I was very excited by that. Um, there's loads of guys. The names escape me now because I'm on the spot. But yeah, there's loads of guys on there. Some
yeah,
smaller channels as well. Don't overlook their content. Sean from Ardnall Studios. Um, the, the resources out there for you. It's free. Use it.
yeah. And I think that's something that we sort of overlook nowadays. Is like exactly how much is out there because YouTube's great, and I put something as a laugh on my main account the other day that if I see another person telling me how to clean out a Citadel paint pot, I'm going to flip a table over. But there's so many people out there who are just doing this out of the goodness of their own hearts. They want to try and sort of repeat messages that they've seen or heard and someone's told them. And sometimes it is like you're stuck in a washing machine getting cycled around. But then you will have someone who's just come up with something and just thought, if you use this, why not try doing that? And
Like
it's something
fashion.
we overlook.
Uh,
Yeah.
Flares come back every 20 years, right?
I mean, I don't know about flares, but
I know
yeah,
nothing about fashion, bud, so it's all good.
I was going
I
to say you're asking the wrong person here.
You're
But
talking about the paint pot thing. There's some really popular Instagrammers and YouTubers out there that are doing the Yoo-hoo glue thing at the moment. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that. No.
It's
What's
the
that?
slime trails where you mix Yoo-hoo glue with a paint and you just spread it across your fingers and it makes slime and snot and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I was doing that 15 years ago because I was taught by some golden demon winners how to do it. But
Yep.
Instagram and Facebook weren't around 15 years ago, and YouTube wasn't. Well, it probably was, but yeah, 2010 it would have been. But all gets
Yeah.
recycled,
I said,
and
yeah.
because you've got the younger crowd coming into it and learning again, and they're going, "Oh,
Mhm.
look at this," and then they're pushing it out to everyone else, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But you only need to do it once. You don't
Yeah.
need to do it 60 times.
I
So
said it. I said it to one of the guys who replied to me. Was like, "Oh my god, if other people have done this and I've not realised, I'm so sorry."
I
And I said
did
it
it.
to
I've got it on my channel.
yeah. There you go. I said it to Cat Rabbit Rob as well. It's
Yeah,
like, you know what? I don't envy you guys who want to create content and do things to show people how certain things might work or what you can do and what can you do differently, because it's kind of like you're all shouting into the void together,
yep.
and in between 50 people all shouting different things. Three of you are all probably shouting the same thing with different audiences and stuff, and one's going to look at that and be like, well, I've just done that, and you sort of cross over a point. It's why I don't envy being a creator per
Yeah.
se. Like, I've
That's
done
why
piss take videos.
I don't post every day. I have a YouTube channel with a couple of thousand subscribers on it, but I post there very seldomly because it's a record for
Yeah.
myself. It's a record of my work, and if I can teach, and mine is based on the models I make.
Mhm.
I'm not going to build you a ruin this week because I need to pay a bill because I'm running out of money.
Yeah.
Fine for people that do, absolutely, but mine is for a record for me of accurate models and descriptions and a bit
Yeah.
more detail. I appreciate those guys that need to put them out every week and they have to rush, but sod that. I can't be asked for that. It's
No,
not fun. It's not a fun hobby then. It's a job. It's not
that's
fun. And I
and
do
that,
mine
yeah,
predominantly now to have fun and relax. So
yeah, and
yeah.
I know Rob has said, like, when I've been talking to him as well, like, the moment this is not fun for me and it feels like a job, I'm throwing it all away, I'm scrapping it, and I'm leaving and walking away from it
And
all. And that's definitely, I think,
Knowing Rob, I very much believe that.
I
Yeah.
believe that as well.
Yeah.
And like, it'll happen. He'll delete all of his accounts and you'll never hear from him again. But
Yep.
you
You see him
off into the
hobbling down the
sunset
street with his mop of hair.
and his bad knee. Yeah, bless
Yeah,
him.
bad knee. Oh, is he all right with that now?
I hope he is, because we're going to be walking around a lot on
Oh, you
Saturday. So
have plenty of painkillers. Don't worry about that.
I'll end up having to carry him, no my luck. But you know what? Fuck it. Right. So this is now the time of the evening where we wrap it up.
Cool.
So Ian, again, thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Appreciate your time tonight, mate. And again, thank you for agreeing. It's quite late into shifting the day for me. Enough respect to that, man.
Yeah,
Because
no worries, man.
um,
Absolutely no problem at all. See, these things happen, don't they? So
I mean, I don't know what sort of idiot forgets that he's going to his missus's grand's funeral
I
and
don't know
wait.
either. How much trouble did you get in?
No, because I just
You didn't tell her.
but just said I just said I'm doing it Thursday instead of Wednesday, and she was like, okay. So,
Oh
but
dear.
she's gonna watch this back now and kill me, so it's fine.
Give
So
it 6 months when something might have moved on, and I'll come back on and speak to you and Dunk if that's all right.
yeah, yeah, no, man. You know what?
That'd
Would love to. It's something when we say to guests that we'd love to have you back on. We're not just saying it to be polite, because I feel like we scratch the surface sometimes in this hour and a half that we have you on for, and there's always more that we can delve into. And like you
Well,
say, do stuff
the
that
camera
you've got
might
on as
work
well.
next time, and I can show you some more models.
Exactly. Hope fingers crossed. When Dunk hosts, it usually works. It's just the odd nights that I do it and it messes up, and I end up just staring at myself, but I can hear the voices back, so it's fine.
I hear voices too, mate. Don't worry.
And they're saying, buy more XPS, cut it into bricks. So,
I weirdly I got all mine for free.
oh, we show off.
No, I
Um,
sent one last one. I
yep,
sent a load of pictures of my builds to the underfloor heating store,
yep.
and they liked them so much they sent me as 2 sheets of every single thickness they do. And
You know what? That's quality.
Zoe, the sales lady, sent me an email 2 weeks ago while I was on jury service and said, we haven't seen your pictures before. Can you send them to us? Because I tagged them. I'm like, you have seen them before. I sent you a load via email because you sent me a load of free stuff. And she went, send me some more. We want to put it in our newsletter. So I'm going to be in
Oh,
the
you
newsletter
know what?
soon.
That's quality though, because
Yeah.
for that company, it's one of those weird things. My mate's in the plumbing game, and he talks about all these different pipes and all of this, that, and the other. And it's always nice when something else pops up like that, and you're like, "Well, we sold 5,000 pipes to someone, and what they've done is made a kids' playground out of them."
Yeah.
And just all the madness of that sort of stuff. So that's quality. That's brilliant of them to do that.
I'm pretty confident the underfloor heating store's sales of single sheets of XPS foam went through the roof. And they're like, why are people only buying one sheet of XPS
Yeah.
foam? What's going on? Who's making these really small heated floors?
Who's got a 4x4 tiny little thing?
Yeah, there's a lot of bathrooms going in. Oh dear.
So just for anyone that isn't aware of your account, doesn't follow you, where can they find you?
At White Shark Gaming Studios. It's the same on YouTube and Instagram, and it's also on Facebook, but that is literally just a carbon copy of my Instagram now. I started on Facebook and then came across to Instagram. But yeah, as I said, it's all on there. Have a look through. There's plenty on there. I'm happy to answer any questions, hopefully hobby related. But if you
I'm
want
going
to
to
talk
set
about
target.
favorite flavor crisps, I'm a happy man. It's not a problem.
I'll start sending you some random shit now. Don't worry about that.
That's cool. No, no
Um,
problem at all, man. I
so
will
once
see
again,
you on Saturday, my good man.
yes, you will. I apologise for the state I'll be in now
I
because
apologise if I don't even see you. It's because there's so deep at the table. Hopefully, we'll be really busy. But come by, say hello. Yeah,
well, we will
Rob
because
will
we
shout at me
love
anyway.
going
Yeah, he
around.
will.
Yeah, we love going around and annoying people. We did it last year to one of the guys on the Green Stuff World stand up. We kept walking over. He's in the middle of a nice in-depth chat about some new ink. We're flipping the bottles over on him, and we're assholes, but we have fun. So
Yeah.
there you go. So just on that, if you're at Salute, Ian's on the Rock mini stand. Go have a look. I will be wandering around in the afternoon at some point. I say wandering, I'll probably be tilting all over the place. Don't be a stranger. Say hello if you see me, and if I see you and ain't got a clue who you are, apologise. I am probably 5 dick down at that stage. We are back next week at the usual time, 7:30 on Wednesday. Obviously, because it's this time of night, we have no idea who the guest is, but we will post a story in the week for it all. And we will probably do a bit of a Salute debrief. Actually, I do remember who we've got on. Next week is a guy called Ewan McMennies, who's also going to be at Salute.
Awesome.
He is demoing his new game. I'm a terrible person and I can't remember the name of it, but it's based on like Celtic history and myth and stuff. And it looks quality. So when I see him, I'll probably do a miniature live, and I'll probably do the same for you guys on the Rock Stand as well, on the main channel, just so we can get a bit of promotion out of it.
Sweet, thank you. Smashing.
Cool. Right. I'll catch you Saturday then, mate. As to everyone else, I'll catch you next week, 7:30 Wednesday with Ewan McMinnies. Catch you all then.
Thanks very
Cheerio.
much, man. See you guys.